All right, this is kind of a big deal, I think. So as you go about collecting information, okay, you're going to be required to make these requests along the way for the data that's going to be reported. And the request and how you go about it works like this. There's this time and manner that you have to satisfy when it comes to data collection. And it's in a time and manner that's reasonably designed to get a response. So in letter E1, small letter A, they're going to say you get flexibility in creating these procedures that you're going to go about collecting information and doing so in a time and manner that ultimately results in a response from the applicant. And they're going to even give you some examples of what would be procedures that are designed to reasonably obtain a response. And it talks about letter B1, timing at the time of application, or I'm saying early in the application process. Now, I'll throw that out there as well. At the time of application, early in the application process, on or with other documents, and we'll sort that out later. So let me do this before we go on. Does it have to be at the time of application? No. Now, those of you that are HMDA banks, you know that you have to collect certain things at the time of application. Those of you that don't have to do HMDA, but you just follow Reg B, you know there's certain things you have to do at the time of application. All of you have to do intent to apply. That's at the time of application. This rule is different. This rule says that once you have an application, then you have to go about collecting this information that we're going to go through at a time and a manner that's reasonably designed to collect a response. But it's not necessarily at the time of application. Early in the application process is your encouragement or a recommendation on or with other documents. So I'm going to share with you later the model forms for collecting women and minority-owned status and race, ethnicity, and sex. I'm going to tell you that information has to be separate from all other information you request. It cannot be on the same form. It's got to be its own form, and I'm going to encourage you to use the model form for that. You can collect it at the same time as collecting that information, but you cannot collect all that information on the same form, and that's what really Roman numeral number 2 is getting at there. You go to page number 12, they also get into what is not reasonably designed to obtain a response. If I'm sitting down with the applicant, let's say Diane is my business applicant. We're sitting down talking about her small business, and I'm collecting some information. And I say, well, why don't you just skip over on that? We'll come back to that later. If that's part of your process, or we interview loan officers and we find out that's what they're actually doing, then it says that's not a process that's reasonably designed to obtain a response. Roman numeral 2 says, with or after notification of action taken. Hey, Diane, by the way, we're not going to do that business purpose loan that you were requesting for your small business, but we need some information from you. Well, that's not, I mean, she's going to hang up the phone. She's not going to provide me something if I'm turning her down and telling her no. So that's not designed to reasonably obtain a response. And then Roman numeral 3 says, if I'm asking Diane to apply online, you know what, why don't you go out and fill out this online information, but then I request the data for reporting by mail. So I want to get her to apply electronically, so I have her in the system, but I don't request the reportable data by the same method. I'm going to mail out something to her. I'll try to visit with her when she comes in for the rest of the data. That's not in a consistent manner, the request for information as opposed to the application information. Here's the thing. These procedures that you're going to be asked to implement to ensure that you are collecting information at a time that's designed to be reasonably designed to obtain a response. There's a built-in assessment or a check